Let's take a look at module priorities. With two new ships, Vulture and Ferdinand, which both have very limited power capacity, they are very limited by power plant size, you really need to set priorities right and understand how it all works. You can see it in right user interface modules. Priority 1 is highest. Priority number 5 is lowest. So the first modules that will be shut down if power is not enough will be modules priority 5. Then 4, 3, 2, and the last will be shut down the priority 1 modules. But if you have all set to same priority, all modules will be shut down same time, even if you exceed only by 1%. So be careful with your priorities. There are modules that you always will need to be powered on, no matter where you are, supercruise or regular space, with hardpoints retracted or deployed. Those are thrusters, shield generator, unless you are using silent run, power distribution, life support, sensors. Those are modules that you always need to have power on, and those modules together for this particular setup require 55% of my power. What that means is that I can have 100% deployed and 100% retracted. But in those remaining 45% I can have completely different modules, and I'm only limited by amount of utility and internal compartment slots. So in extreme case I can have up to 145% of modules on my ship. In example, I have weapons set priority 1 and 2, well, yeah, doesn't matter. And shield boosters on priority 5. Shield boosters as well as shield cell banks are passive modules. All they need is power. These modules do not require you to deploy or retract them, so as long as they have power, they are online. So I can have with my hardpoints retracted to shield boosters and both working. Boosters work just by increasing your shield pool. They do not increase shield strength, they just make this pool bigger. You still will need to charge that pool before it fills up. But if you exit Supercruise with your shield boosters on, you will have full shields already. One shield booster will add 20% to your shields pool. Two boosters 40%, so even if somebody manages to shoot one ring of your shields before the battle even begins, you will start the fight with 100% shields because you have plus 40%. And enemy most likely has empty weapon capacitor. So while you can't use shield boosters effectively in combat, you still have plus 40% with your hardpoints retracted. So if you don't want to be so paranoid about other players in same instance, don't want to start fight with disadvantage like with one red shield ring, you can have plus 40% shields and gain even some advantage if enemy decides to jump on you. Also, with bigger shields means you have more time to run away, more time to think and react. You just deploy your hardpoints and your shields shrink because boosters, as you see, gone offline. And the 40% of shield has gone. But that doesn't matter if you already lost one ring of shield. So you can start a fight if you decide to fight without any penalty. It's like 40% insurance. You will lose that anytime you deploy your hardpoints and gain it after each supercruise or if you charge your shields manually. Also, as you see, when my hardpoints are deployed, I can't use shield cell bank. Shield boosters are offline, cargo hatch, frameshift drive, fuel scoop, frameshift drive interdictor. Yes. So basically all modules I would never use in a fight. You don't need fuel scoop, frameshift drive interdictor. You don't even need frameshift drive because you can't initiate frameshift drive with your hardpoints deployed. Now take a look what happens if I retract hardpoints. Shield cell bank came online and shield boosters also came, and as you see now on the left I have one red ring because my shield is 40% bigger now, but it still requires time to charge. So boosters do not strengthen your shield, they just increase the pool. And if I deploy, my shields again are full, but they are by 40% smaller. So that's pretty nice feature for passive modules like shield boosters or shield cell banks. Now let me show you how you can use shield cell banks with this setup. I could not have weapons and shield cell banks at the same time. Also, shield cell banks now require like 5-second delay. And now let me show you another nice trick with shield cell banks. When my hardpoints are deployed, I can't use obviously shield cell bank. But the moment I retract my hardpoints, it just requires several seconds. My shield cell banks come online and I can use them as you see. And after 5-second delay, my shields are filling up. And it's now up to 140% because of 2 shield boosters. Now you need to think and play with your priorities. So if you have free utility mounts or free internal compartments, you can still have their modules and power them without your weapons, meaning when your weapons are retracted, you can have shield boosters, shield cell banks. In this case, I will have to retract my hardpoints, wait for several seconds, press shield cell bank key, which I have binded in options controls, and after 5 seconds my shields are full. So even while you are limited by power plant of your ship, you still can have much more than 100%. You just need to set priorities right. And in this case I can use passive modules like shield cell bank or shield boosters only when my hardpoints are retracted. Or you can disable weapons and your modules will go online. So remember, 100% you can't exceed that at any given time. But you can have different modules with your hardpoints deployed or retracted. Also you can turn off on modules manually.